Yo, how's it going? And today we have the rise and fall of Young Justice, the complete story of each season. Now, unpopular opinion, I guess. I don't think Young Justice ever fell off. You feel what I'm saying? Are all seasons 10 out of 10? No. Season 1, 10 out of 10. Season 2, 10 out of 10. Is season 3 Outsiders? Outsiders was all right. Season 4 or like part 2 of season 3, like those two are like 7.5s because the way it ended, fire. Superboy came back. I like that. What else? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just love Young Justice, but let's see how it, fell off or just fell.
Do you know that cartoon you start watching just to see some teens punching a villain? And suddenly you're crying because the couple broke up, a character died, and
But I heard some people say that Wally should have came back instead of Superboy. But I'm like, for Artemis's sake, yeah. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. This might be a little feminine for me to say, but they were not even low key. They were the best couple in that show. Cause what? You know what I'm saying? Robin was just slinging cock apparently, so he didn't really have anything. Superboy and Miss Martian, they ended up getting married, but that was messy. But Artemis and Wally, if I were to model any, like if I were to have a relationship for the rest of my life, their relationship is something I want. I ain't gonna lie.
another became an intergalactic spy. That's Young Justice. The premise was simple. What if the Justice League decided to outsource dangerous jobs to a group of superpowered interns? Yes, that's pretty much how we met Robin, Aqualad, Kid Flash, Superboy, Miss Martian, and Artemis. Each with their own dilemmas, hormones in overdrive, and a huge desire to prove they're not just sidekicks. And if you think it was all punch-ups and conspiracy, you'd be way off. This also has that real teen drama.
Yeah.
Kisses, dating, jealousy, even breakups. Because, of course, saving the world and dealing with intergalactic supervillains is easy compared to maintaining a stable relationship in your teens. The beginning of Young Justice was a well-choreographed action, conspiratorial plots with light. Not the light at the end of the tunnel, but close. Deep characters, and a narrative that didn't treat the audience like idiots. But then, the famous time skip came. The chronological mess, the excess of characters popping up from nowhere.
I feel that, but at the end of the day, if you consider that a shaky start, they landed that start pretty well. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, the time skip was good in the sense of Aqualad. Like, you don't even know why Aqualad is a bad guy now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's a good mystery because you're like, wait, Calder, what's going on? But then you realize, like, in the games, apparently, the girl he had a crush on, you know what I'm saying, met the woo. So that's the reason he's a bad guy now. And yeah, the whole thing, I ain't explain it.
Extras in a primetime soap opera and a narrative that started dragging more than Robin's solo career. So in this video, we'll go through all the seasons, from the glorious start to the point when the hype became just another sad memory. We'll talk about the highs, the lows, and the what the hell happened here, writer? Because if there's one thing Young Justice proved, it's that even teenage heroes can have existential crises worse than ours. Prepare the popcorn, because today we'll talk about one of the greatest animations in the DC universe, the rise and fall of Young Justice. The first season of Young Justice is one of those that start well and end kicking the door down with everything. It's just an animated series, I know, but the depth, the dilemmas, and the twist leave a lot of live action.
That was a complete random episode.
There's no silly villain here, nor shallow little plot just to fill sausage. Everything mattered. Every mission, every silence, every exchange of looks that seems like nothing. In the end, it's a key piece of a bigger puzzle. And if there's something this season does masterfully, it's balancing dramatic weight with narrative lightness. The action is well directed, with fights choreographed with pleasure, and the suspense is built with a calm.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That episode was like fire and water, tornado. Wait. Yeah, red and fire tornado. That episode was low fire. I ain't gonna lie. Like the way Artemis and Robin had to like team up while all the people with superpowers got trapped, and how Artemis had to make that shot. I like that.
That few writers nowadays can hold. But hold on, it's not just punching and conspiracy theory. But real quick, let me highlight an episode from the first season that truly marked me. Remember the episode Failsafe? The one where the Justice League is wiped out by an alien invasion and the sidekicks take over Earth's defense? Yeah, it seems like the end of the world. Until we find out it was all just a mental simulation created by the...
And the fact that Miss Martian was able to like make it seem real to them, and then needed therapy after. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, that was...
White Martian to test the team's resilience. And what makes this episode memorable is not just the chaos, but the moment when Aqualad, the calmest guy on the team, takes the lead in the middle of the general emotional collapse and guides the others with an absurd calm, as if he was born to lead. That's when everyone thought, whoa, this guy ain't just for show. This episode is so tense, emotional, and surprising that it ties your brain in a knot, and shows that Young Justice knew exactly how to leave you speechless. Going back to talking about the season, it also has Kiss It. It has Ship. It has couple that makes the fandom melt. Superboy and Miss Martian are the official couple and deliver what they promise. Tension, tenderness, and a kiss that comes at the right moment, with emotional weight and a chilling...
Dude, that's your sister!
soundtrack. Artemis and Kid Flash live in if they fight, they marry mode, with a rivalry that borders on flirting. They don't hook up, at least not yet, but the vibe is all set. And if you don't ship those two, congratulations. You're made of stone. And the villains? Oh, the villain. No idiot with generic laugh and generic domination plan. Here we have the Light, an organization so sophisticated and sinister, it would make even...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Vandal Savage is the most underrated DC villain ever. Oh my god, bro. Like, if you don't know who... I mean, if you're watching this video, you know who Vandal Savage is. But Vandal Savage is that guy, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you ever seen Justice League Doom, bro, he was the reason that, like, the Justice League almost got packed up with, like, Batman's plans and whatnot. Telling y'all, bro.
And the Joker think twice before getting involved. Lex Luthor, Ra's al Ghul, Vandal Savage, Clarion. It's practically a team of evil, all acting in the shadows and manipulating everything like they were playing chess on 10 boards at once. Besides that, we have Sportsmaster, who turns sports
he was a cool guy.
into lethal weaponry and still gives trouble to everyone. And the Dark Black Manta, who shows up already making it clear he's not here to play. These guys aren't just physical threats, they're masters of manipulation. The kind of villain who wins without needing to get their hands dirty. Of course, not everything is perfect. The season has about 2 or 3 episodes that clearly came just to push time. You know that filler with a taste of, did we really need this here? Yeah, but when the story gets going, and it gets going fast, it's a spectacle. Twist, revelations, crises of trust, double agents. It's like they put Jason Bourne in a superhero school. My score is 10. This is where the peak of this animation begins, because Young Justice not only respects the audience, but also challenges it. It's a story of growth, espionage, and loyalty, with top-notch action, well-built romance, and villains you're going to respect. And all that with quality animation and characters you want to protect with a blanket, even if they can blow up a
yeah, bro, Black... I ain't gonna lie, bro. They can't have certain Snow Bunny clips come out of come out of me, bro.
Mountain with one punch. The second season of Young Justice, called Invasion, is when the series steps on the gas, throws the gang 5 years into the future, and says, deal with it. The result? A mix of aliens, espionage, new heroes, and old traumas that makes any animation fan sit on the couch and not get up until it's all over. The veteran heroes are more mature, or trying to look like it, while a bunch of recruits enters the mess trying to prove they're not just extras with pretty costumes. Among the newcomers who steal the show, we have Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, who...
Yeah, bro. That's one thing I like about Young Justice. Like, the people you never think of get to shine. Like, Blue Beetle. But let's not sit here and lie. No one's top 10 superheroes in DC, or superheroes in general, involves Blue Beetle. I'm not... Hotter take. Blue Beetle might not be even in most people's top 20. Like 99% of people don't got Blue Beetle in their top 20 superheroes in DC, and I'm not sure people can name 20 DC superheroes. You feel me? But he got a good arc. Beast Boy. Like, Beast Boy is not like you feel me? Like, if you ever seen Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go, you knew Beast Boy was coming in, because, you feel me, Young Justice was just, you know what I'm saying, Teen Titans for real. What else? Who else? Tim Drake. I never watched the original Batman series, so I wasn't too hip on Tim Drake besides like that Batman Beyond movie. Who else? Rocket got some shine. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they really let Vandal Savage, yeah. Like, all the people you never think of got to shine.
Who's always clashing with the alien scarab stuck on his back. Impulse, Bart Allen. Flash's grandson coming from the future in a caffeine rush. Beast Boy, who became the comic relief with his animal transformations. Lagoon Boy, who shows up as Miss Martian's rebound boyfriend, along with Wonder Girl.
Random how they met, bro.
Cassie Sandsmark and Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, who show up proving that a woman's place is also in the middle of the fight. Oh, and Static Shock appears more toward the end, because there's always room for one more on this bus. The focus this time is the alien invasions, especially by the Reach, a race that arrives on Earth with peace talk, but soon shows that the real intention is to kick the door in and dominate everything. And of course, the villains from the light continue in the background, acting like they own Netflix and the entire script. The plot is tense, full of twists, and the fights have that emotional weight that leaves the viewer with a tight chest. By the way, speaking of moments that no one expected and suddenly turned the game completely, like that plot twist that leaves you speechless, it's worth remembering an episode from this season that was simply insane. I'm talking about the episode called Before the Dawn. The episode starts with the team setting up a rescue operation to save some team members who were trapped.
Oh wait, didn't they beat up in this episode?
On an alien ship of a species called Reach. Inside the ship, Aqualad receives a tour and discovers that the Reach want to study and replicate the metagene, using cruel tests on Beast Boy and Impulse. And they even reveal that they intend to take full control of Jaime's Scarab. At the climax, Black Beetle appears, massacres the team, and locks into an epic fight with Blue Beetle, who, under full control of the Scarab, faces the enemy in an intense duel while the ship begins to flood. Lagoon Boy saves Jaime, the team escapes through the bioship, and the confrontation ends stuck. Already in the aftermath, Impulse tells Jaime that he came from the future to stop the Scarab from going crazy and dominating the world. Everything indicates that the risk is just beginning.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know it has nothing to do with anything he was just talking about, but yeah, if I'm a superhero, bro, and I'm dating another superhero, why are they putting me on the same mission as my ex, bro, with her new man? You feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not weird to anybody? All hugged up and whatnot.
Shows the heroes getting ready to denounce the Reach, but the aliens already make official contact with the United Nations, enjoying diplomatic support and leaving Earth on maximum alert. But what really hits is the emotional weight.
Oh yeah,
the twist that comes with the warning. It's that kind of ending that leaves you staring at the screen, holding your breath, thinking, "No way they did that." The action.
McGann, what did you do?
is insane. The moral dilemmas hit hard, and when the episode ends, you realize nothing will be the same, and that the enemy is much smarter than they seem. And not only of brawling lives this season, we also have well-served romantic moments. Superboy and Miss Martian ended the relationship due to disagreement. Kid Flash and Artemis were already dating.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hopefully he got one more go at her, bro. Because if Wally did it, and you know what I mean, they didn't get one more, and bro, I'll be perturbed.
And had retired from hero life to live together. But Wally unfortunately died at the end of the season for the greater good. Red Arrow and Cheshire already had a relationship and a daughter, but were separated, maintaining a complicated relationship since she is a...
Not gonna lie, bro. Roy, let's call the one that we saw the whole time, Roy 1. Roy 1? Top 5 favorite characters in the first season. Roy 1 was fire. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Finding out he was the clone in the, like, you know what I'm saying? He was being manipulated by the bad guys the whole time. I didn't see it coming, bro. There's no signs, literally, bro. I like that.
Villain and he a hero. Miss Martian dated Lagoon Boy for a while after the breakup with Superboy, but they broke up when she and Superboy reconciled and got back together. And as unbelievable as it may seem, Tim Drake ends up dating Wonder Girl. After Kid Flash's death,
how? She gonna break you.
They decided not to waste any more time because life is too short to play around. In terms of villains, the season is a lesson on how to create real threats. Black Beetle is the war tank of the moment. Huge, indestructible, and with the charisma of a rock, but who delivers an action scene. The Light continues to be the true League of Evil, pulling the strings like they were the writers of the series itself. And if you like those moral and political dilemmas in the middle of chaos, you'll feel at home. My score for this season is an easy 9 out of 10. We're talking about the peak of this animation. The season is sharp.
Bro, Miss Martian had probably the best, you know what I'm saying, role in this whole thing because she was just breaking people's minds, bro. Just abusing her power. But then when she just went wild on Calder and realized that she can't just be doing that to people, and she put Simon in a coma too, Jesus.
Bold and knows how to build tension like no one else. It only doesn't get a 10 because it introduces so many new characters that sometimes it feels like you fell into a family barbecue and no one told you who's who. But other than that, it's one of the best phases of the animation. There's kissing, there's drama, there's Alien wanting to dominate the world, and there's teenagers saving everything with zero therapy and 100% drama. DC nailed it beautifully here. The third season of Young Justice, called Outsiders, is basically DC's answer to those who think good superhero stuff is just punching. Here, the beatings come, but wrapped in a combo of international politics, meta-human trafficking, and mind-blowing moral dilemma. The story
Random hot take. If I was able to survive, I would not feel too bad about, you know what I'm saying, getting used to become a superhero. Not sure if that's a hot take, but you know what I'm saying? I get kidnapped in the middle of the night. They put me in some black goo. And I wake up with heat vision. Amen. Say man. Fair is fair.
Focuses on a new generation of heroes, like Geoforce, Halo, and Forager, who join the veterans to try to solve a global-scale meth. Villains are kidnapping young people with metagenes and turning them into living weapons. But before we continue, I need to get this off my chest real quick. You can't talk about epic moments without remembering one that, to this day, catches me off guard. Like, you're there watching Young Justice, all chill, thinking it's going to be another
we
episode
are all
about
outsiders.
strategy, espionage, that usual vibe. Then comes episode 12 of the third season, Bro. This episode focuses heavily on Garfield Logan, Beast Boy. He's away from hero life, living with Queen Perdita and trying to live a normal life, but still dealing with deep past trauma.
I'm gonna lie, bro. They got the fun in this show, bro. Oh god.
While Halo and Cyborg deal with their own crises, Beast Boy decides to test the augmented reality glasses from Good VR, thinking it would be something harmless. But as soon as he puts on the device, he's thrown into an insane mental trip caused by Granny Goodness's secret technology used for mind control. Inside this reality, he relives painful scenes from his childhood, sees his mother's death again, relives the moment he became a shapeshifter, and begins to be bombarded by heavy memory. Out of nowhere, everything changes, and he finds himself in an episode of Teen Titans Go, where the characters become caricatures of themselves and make jokes non-stop, even mocking his suffering in a direct criticism of how he deals with his problem. Beast Boy starts to freak out, trapped between the absurd and the real pain. He hears McGann's voice in the background, trying to pull him back. With effort, he faces
She got the clear head.
Faces his traumas head on, refuses the manipulation, and rips off the glasses before being completely dominated. He wakes up panting, sweating, but more self-aware. He realizes he can't run from the past and understands that maybe he still has a role as a hero. Well, going back to talking about the third season, you must be asking if there are badass villains this season. The answer? We have. The League of Shadows continues to be a headache, but who really steals the scene is the combo Granny Goodness plus Darkseid, who
low key. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. They had them boys trapped in like the torture chamber. They had them trapped. No cap.
We're behind an entire network of metahuman trafficking. Oh, and of course, Lex Luthor continues to be the CEO of manipulation, always with that cynical little smile of someone who knows they'll get away with it. Now speaking about romance, kisses, and ships, love also punches the clock. Superboy and Miss Martian are now engaged with...
Bro, they had a freak ball. But this? No, it was this season, right? They had a freak ball little clip of them just, you know what I'm saying, like, McGann was in the shower, they were just talking regular, like, yeah, like, you got work today? Nah. You got work today? Nah, I'm just gonna do some yard work and whatnot. And then, like, what you wearing? No, Superboy asked Miss Martian, what you wearing? My engagement ring? That boy went in there, and all he heard was giggling.
The season showing the preparation for the wedding and the challenges they face as a couple. Are Robin Tim Drake and Wonder Girl, who is Cassie Sandsmark. They're already dating, although the romance development isn't a main focus, being more a backdrop for their roles as heroes. Halo and Geoforce develop a meaningful but tumultuous romantic relationship, which ends at the end of the season due to Geoforce's action. And our Nightwing is dating Barbara Gordon. They're in an established relationship, more implicit, with Barbara being a crucial support. Bumblebee and Mal Duncan are married and have a daughter, Rhea.
No cap, bro, you know the I think, like the information contest they have? Bro, I like that, bro.
Representing a hero couple with a stable family. My score for this season would be a solid 8 out of 10. The season is dense, political, and full of characters, sometimes too many, which can leave everything a bit tangled. But the level of emotional complexity...
Oh yeah, Dr. Fate. Oh yeah, bro. Nah. Dr. Fate being like an like more hero than villain sometimes, and just like keeping people hostage was crazy work.
And the courage to address social issues like human trafficking and corruption give a huge upgrade. The fourth season of Young Justice season is that return you were waiting for with hype way up high, and that ended up falling into the fourth season curse, more pretentious than impactful. Instead of continuing with the strong rhythm of the first two seasons, which were sharp, tense, full of mystery and twist, this one decided to go down a slower path, too introspective and kind of unfocused. Each arc works like a mini-movie, which seems brilliant at at first, but after a while, it feels like you're watching random episodes with the same title on the cover. It tries to seem deep, but sometimes it just feels dragged. The fragmented structure harms the continuous tension building, and even the best emotional moments end up diluted. It's a season that demands patience, and honestly, Young Justice never needed to demand that from us before. Even this fourth season being much weaker when we compare it to the peak of the series, there is an episode that caught me off guard and proved that it was still possible to pull.
Damn. What I remember from the fourth season is Superboy dies. They were on Mars, getting ready for the wedding. They're trying to find Superboy. Damn, the fourth season, I don't remember that one. I don't
Some
lie.
epic moments from there. Like, I was watching with no expectations, and bam, the episode makes me stare wide-eyed. I'm talking about episode 13 of the fourth season, called Caribbean Tre. Yes, it's Break My Heart Backward, which already gives a hint of the emotional weight. In this episode, Zatanna and her apprentices face Dr. Fate, trying to free the boy Khaled from becoming the new host of Naboo. Dude, this episode hits hard, not just because of the magical beatdown, which is already stylish as hell, but
Oh yeah, the little devil child too.
because there's a heavy emotional conflict between duty and free will. And in the middle of all this, Zatanna shows a master side, firm and superhuman, trying to protect her pupils even when she knows she might lose them forever. The craziest part is that in the end, Khaled chooses of his own free will to accept the helmet and become the new Dr. Fate, but in a way no one expected, without giving up his own identity, forcing Naboo to accept that he wouldn't be just a puppet like the previous one. It was an epic, surprising, and deeply powerful moment. In this episode, the series proved that it still knew how to move and leave the audience speechless. Anyway, I thought it was epic, and just wanted to comment on it, going back to talking about the season. There are things that save this season in a bizarre way, like the romances. In this season, Superboy and Miss Martian finally get married, and it's one of the most beautiful and emotional scenes of the
Why does bro look like Bruce Wayne in any other universe?
series. Aqualad is in a romantic relationship with Wine. Artemis starts a relationship with Jason Bard, some
Damn, it should have been me.
random guy. And Lagoon Boy reveals he's in a
Oh yeah, they just beat people over the head with the fact that people get down in this show. Whoa. Nah, I'm not even going after that.
polyamorous relationship with Coral and Rodun, and
Whose kid is it? Does he always get the badge and he always gets the throat? Or is it like let's roll the dice and see who, you know what I'm saying, kid comes
Coral
out.
is pregnant. Blue Beetle and 13 are dating too. Superman and Lois Lane are married and parents of John Kent. Flash and Iris West are also married and parents of Dawn and Dawn. Beast Boy and Perdita Vladak break up due to Beast Boy's struggle with depression. Halo starts to develop a relationship with Harper Row. Well, now that we've talked about romance, let's talk about the villain. So at this stage of the story, there's a lack of villain with presence. The Shadows do have style. Cassandra with her messed up arm imposes respect. Sportsmaster brings the dark family drama, and General Zod even shows up with pomp, but none of them really stand out like the villains from previous seasons.
Yeah.
Antagonists from the first and second seasons kept you on alert. Here, the feeling is that danger never comes with full force. Desaad delivers a bioweapon, there's tension, but nothing that compares to the threat of the Reach or the Injustice League. The fights are still well animated. There's emotion here and there, but nothing that makes you jump off the couch. And the pacing? Oh, the pacing. It's slow, dragged out. It feels like everything takes 3 episodes longer than it should. And in the end, when you think everything is about to take off, it ends with that taste of, was that it? Overall, the fourth season is still a good season. It's not disastrous. It's not a fiasco. But it's far from the level of excellence that made...
Bro, the show, oh man, bro. Young Justice ever comes back, bro, they might go nuclear. I ain't gonna lie, bro, because they introduced, you know what I'm saying, Darkseid, Supergirl. Like, I'm pretty sure one of Zatanna's students went to Darkseid. I'm like, bro, that show needs to come. back.
Made Young Justice stand out among so many animations. The boldness of trying something different is admirable, but the result fell short of what the series has already proven it can deliver. My score for this season is 7. It's still Young Justice, but it's the version that forgot how to balance action with narrative without feeling like it's trying to give you a philosophy lesson between one punch and another. For me, this season is the fall of Young Justice, and that's it, folks. The peak of Young Justice was, without a doubt, that perfect combo of the first and second season, when the series was sharp, engaging, and made you forget to even reply in the family group. The third season? That one is the famous neither stinks nor smell, the lukewarm middle ground that no one asks for second. And the fourth? Look, it's not bad, but compared to what we've already seen, it's like trading a Queen concert for a bar cover band on a rainy Tuesday.
Yeah. Again, personally, like, Young Justice never fell off because it just can't, bro. That show was too good. I might need to rewatch it again, bro. That show got too good, bro. But yeah, they just had another season and stuck the landing. It might go. Like, it can't be a legend. Actually, it might be the best superhero team show of all time. But, you know what I'm saying? I'll say that for another video.